Are you storing decimal numbers in your database? I'll show you why that may be a mistake and a better way to do it. A common use for decimal numbers is to store money. Whether it's US dollars, British pounds, or any other currency, we often think about storing this number as a decimal. You're probably thinking this makes sense, but there is an issue with this. We'd store something like a total order amount as a dollar value with cents stored in the decimal part. Let's see an example in SQL. We'll create a table to represent a customer's order in a fictional store. We've got a few fields here, including this total order amount. This represents the money that the customer needs to pay for their order. The currency doesn't matter, but let's say it's in US dollars. The table is created. Now let's insert some values. We'll insert a couple of sample orders here. Now let's view the data. We can see the data. It all looks good so far, doesn't it? Earlier I said there's a problem with decimals. The problem is that working with decimals can sometimes cause rounding errors. When you perform calculations on decimal values, there's a risk that numbers will be rounded. When that happens, you'll lose the extra precision or decimal places. You may also get a slightly different number. The amount may be small. Who cares about an extra decimal, right? But if your application or system places a high importance on the accuracy of numbers, then you need them to be accurate. Even small amounts can cause issues over a large enough scale or large numbers. So what's the fix? The recommendation is to store decimal amounts like this as an integer that represents the lowest level unit that you need. For example, you may want to store currency as divided by 100, which means storing cents instead of dollars. This means a value of $645.13 is stored as 64513. This isn't just my recommendation. It's often mentioned on sites like Stack Overflow, and it's how Stripe, the payment processing company, defines their API. To actually use this in an SQL table, you can create a table that stores the number value as an integer, like this. When you insert data, you insert the numbers as cents, like this. We can see it looks like this in the table. You can then perform your calculations on the cents value with a low risk of rounding errors. If you're thinking people think about dollars, not cents, well, there's a solution for that too. You can display your cents value as dollars in applications or reports by formatting the value. Here is a sample select query that can show the cents amount as dollars, or whatever the name is for the main currency. We can see it's shown as a decimal, but in the table it's stored as an integer or whole number. If you need to store fractions of a cent, such as for currency conversion or some other need, you can make the integer value represent a fraction of the cent and use the same process. If you want more recommendations on database design, check out this video here on how to store address fields in your database.